What's up, YouTube? It's just Brandy, and let's talk. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha is having a baby special. So on this episode, we see that Porsha's relationship is very fragile. They rushed into this situation, and you can see it everywhere. So, she stated that they intentionally got pregnant, that they had a conversation saying that they wanted to have a baby and they intentionally got pregnant. However, prior to getting pregnant, they did not have some very important discussions about how they were going to parent and what their future looked like. So now we see the aftermath of, now we are already knee deep in this situation, about to have this baby, and we have some major issues that we do not agree on. And that's in addition to him being a mama's boy and his mother having her hand in his life and her opinion so strong in his life. So they are on the heels of the baby shower and opening up the gifts, and finally the baby's nursery is ready. So Porsha basically designed the nursery, and Dennis didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't have any say. They're having issues over the name because she wants to name the baby Pilar, which she does, but he previously dated somebody named Pilar, so he's like, I don't want to name my baby after my ex. Hello, Beyonce and Jay-Z Blue. Anyway, so she's like, but I really like Pilar Janae, and he's like, no. And it's supposed to be, his whole thing is, you don't want to compromise. This relationship is supposed to be give and take, and you just always want me to bend to your will and your way. So they're having issues because he feels like she's selfish and she does not want to compromise, and she's having issues because she feels like he should just agree with what she says. So she's also being triggered because of some sneakiness that's going on, and she feels like it reminds her of her previous situation with Cordell. So they decide to go to counseling and go see Dr. Sherry, and they just have so many foundational issues. And the problem is, if you don't start with a strong foundation, it just doesn't look good. So we see that this couple is not married. They just got engaged. They have a baby on the way, and they do not have a strong foundation. So it doesn't really look good for them. So they have financial issues. The mother keeps on talking. They have prenup issues where they don't want to deal with the prenup, so they haven't yet because it's going to cause issues. They have home issues. She wanted him to sell his condo. He's renting it out. He didn't tell her. He told her he was going to sell it instead of renting it out. So she's upset about that because she feels betrayed. He has moved into her home, and he makes it very clear that it is her home and it's not their home because it was her home. And she wanted him to buy in on the home and give her half of the down payment so that he could then be on the deed. Well, he said no, he doesn't want to buy into the home because he does not want to stay in that home. He feels like she should just rent that home out, and then they should go get a home together, which I completely understand that. It's hard to move into somebody else's home, regardless if it's male or female. When you move into somebody else's space, it's their space. They've claimed it, they've already made it their own, and it's hard for people to give up something that they've already are so attached to. It's a lot easier to just start fresh and do something together where you can make those decisions together, versus somebody else coming into, somebody else's. So then she decides, well, if you don't want to purchase into this home, then we should have a rental agreement. So he like, so now you want me to pay rent, which I think it's the word rent, because she was already said in a previous episode that she was going to have him to pay the mortgage, but calling it rent, I feel like he thinks, it's just a little bit on the disrespectful side. So they have issues with that. So then, you know, of course, as a new mother and as a self-centered, selfish type person, let's just call it what it is, of course, you're having a new baby. You want everybody to come and help you, wait on you hand and foot, be there, you know, at your beck and call. So, of course, you know, a lot of women, you want your mother to be there. So she wanted her mother to move in when she first had the baby, you know, to help her with the baby. So that's understandable. Any, you know, woman can understand that. But Dennis, who's a mama's boy, says, well, if your mother gets to be there, my mother gets to be there. Now, remember, there was a time when Miss Diane actually lived with Portia. She was staying there. Portia lived with her at one time, and then Miss Diane lived with her. So Miss Diane already has a room at Portia's home, which, you know, her and her mother are very close. So Dennis, you know, made a comment, well, you wanted your mother to move in, so why can't my mother move in? This tit for tat, that is very immature. So now you did something, so I'm doing something. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not maturity. And for somebody saying, oh, we need to compromise, we need to do that, you was trying to show, you know, we thought you might have been level-headed and mature in the situation, but actually you petty as hell. That's petty. You don't tit for tat. Your relationship is not going to survive if that's how you do, because then when you do wrong, I'm gonna do wrong. You did something, now I'm gonna do something. You cannot be tit for tat. Somebody has to be the bigger person. You've got to communicate through it, and you should have had a conversation instead of just deciding and saying, well, you know what, I kind of feel this kind of way, or it made my mother feel this kind of way, you know, or whatever. And you have a conversation. But as somebody who's never had a baby, you feel, as a man, you feel like, well, your mother, no, as a woman, you want your mother to be there during that time. Now, depending on the relationship, you may say, oh, okay, your mother can come too or whatever. But if you don't have a good relationship, if she don't have a good relationship with your mother, then that may not be the best situation. Like, you're already irritable, you're not getting a lot of sleep, you know, you just had a baby, your body is going through changes, your body just got finished making a whole person, and now you have to deal with a personality like somebody that you don't want to see every day. This is supposed to be a joyous time. So if your mother is going to bring stress, if your mother is going to bring anything, she doesn't need to be there. And your mother doesn't know when to shut her mouth and mind her business. So it's probably not in her best interest to be anywhere. And you don't know how to check her. You know, you sew up her ass that you don't know when to let your mama know she need to mind her business. Y'all old as hell. And it ain't no reason that your mother should have such an opinion on what you're doing. Anyway, so basically, you know, that was the episode in a nutshell. The main, you know, the meat of the episode. I don't know if it's going to last between Portia and Dennis. I think, you know, they will go through probably with getting married, but how long this marriage will last with these types of issues, I just don't know. It doesn't look good. It basically shows that you went in reckless and you got pregnant and you didn't have some conversations. And I understand your biological clock was ticking and you was trying to hurry up and you may have been so in love, but leave that for the girls in their 20s to make those types of mistakes. They have an excuse because of their age. But when you almost 40, you don't have that same excuse. You know, you done been through some things in life and you know better. So even though you wanted to have that, you should have been like, oh, okay, well, let's have these conversations. You know, what are we going to do? Whoop, whoop, whoop. What are, you know, you claim y'all sit and talked on y'all first date so much and everything, and you talk. Well, what was y'all talking about? What y'all been talking about? You 9 months pregnant. What you been talking about? Because obviously y'all haven't been talking about anything of substance. You've been talking about hot dogs. That's what you've been talking about. When you need to have been talking about some real stuff. So it's time to get real and grow up and stop, you know, thinking that you just gonna have these men that's just gonna cater to you and do whatever you want. Do you want a man? Why you feel like you just gonna make all the decisions and he just gonna fall in line? Or do you want a man that's gonna lead your family? Because, you know, you always talking about Hosea Williams. I'm sure Hosea Williams' wife was not telling him what to do. So if that's not what you come from, why is that what you're trying to create? Let your man be your man. And if you don't feel comfortable letting your man lead your household, then maybe that's not the man for you. If you don't trust him enough to do that and make those decisions for your family, then that's probably not the man for you. And I'm not saying as a woman that you shouldn't have an opinion, because absolutely, yes, you should. You're not supposed to just lay down and be just as submissive in whatever you like. But at the end of the day, that man's supposed to be the head of the household. And she's not allowing him to be that. No, you're not married yet, but you're in the plans of getting married. To have a man move in and make him put his stuff in an unfinished basement when you got 5 bedrooms. You got 5 bedrooms. That's fine. Oh, okay, yeah, you a woman. You got a big closet or whatever. You know, it's common. So you got the master closet. But you couldn't give him a spare bedroom closet? That he had to put his stuff in the basement? But you still thought that he was gonna feel like that was his home when he got to go into an unfinished basement surrounded by plywood to get his clothes. Come on now. Now you know that's ignorant as fuck. You could have made one of your bedrooms a closet and gave him the master closet. Or if you wanted the master closet, then you could have had him be able to make a bedroom a closet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ways to do things. And the fact that it didn't even cross your mind, and the fact that she don't even see that nothing is wrong with that, speaks volumes on her level of selfishness. And as a man, when you looking at a woman and you see how selfish that she is at this age, that's not going to change. When you are 40 years old and this is how you have been your whole life and people have catered to you and kissed your ass, you're not going to change. That's what you want. That's what you like. That's your comfort zone. She's not going to change. So if he's thinking that she's going to change, he's going to be able to stop her from doing that, it's not. So if that's not what you signing up for, then y'all need to figure out a plan to co-parent right now. And you need to go ahead and separate, because you're not going to change the core of who she is. Can people learn and grow and do things different? Yes, they can, but you are not going to change the core of a person. And if her core is selfish and self-centered and she don't see nothing wrong with it, yeah, you get women that'll say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this because I want to keep him. Yes, people do things for other people all the time, but those things do not last. Yes, she can do it for 6 months. Yes, she can do it for a year, but in the end, it's going to come right back around. And as long as she is on TV and people, you know, look at her and idolize her and this and that, she's going to stay self-centered. You want Portia to not be like that, then she's going to have to get off the Housewives. She's going to have to get off the radio, and she's going to have to be a stay-at-home mom where she is no longer in the public eye, because as long as she is going to be that self-centered person, because she don't need you for shit. So what is her motivation to change? She got her own money. She got her own everything. Now she got the baby. What do she need you for? She don't need you for shit. So either you like her how she is. If you don't, go now. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole Portia and Dennis situation. I'll see you next week for the next episode.